There's 10 of us, and we all couple up.
Good morning to all the guys in this house. Don't watch me, watch your girl.
You all were asked to come here for a chance to find love, your perfect match.
Let the games begin. I could be kissed like that for the rest of my life. Freeze me.
I think that's my new red flag. Uh-oh.
Ready to stir some things up.
This is like Hunger Games for dating.
This isn't too hot to handle. That was not a good move.
All these people, they're coming in to test every single...
Hi, all my beanie weenies. This is, of course, the voice of Hot Dogs, and we are back with another episode of Perfect Match. I mean, are you the one? Yeah. Am I regretting making the series after this instead of the hit popular Netflix one? Yeah, kinda. But we gotta keep on marching through as we are over the halfway point of the series. And make sure you give me a little like and comment because I'm a very lonely wiener and I really need the attention and validation. But anyway, back to the show. Of course, it is another day in the beautiful Are You the One villa, and it's actually Pace's first day in the house. Of course, Pace was introduced as a replacement house guest. Unfortunately, our second replacement house guest in the series so far, but he came last night during the matching ceremony where the house guest only received one more light confirmation, so only one perfect match was matched in the matching ceremony. Take a shot every time I say match in this episode. That'd be pretty fun. So, unfortunately, we don't know who that couple is, and at the end of today's episode, we will find out as we send one couple to the truth booth. But until then, our house guests are all kind of relaxing after the ceremony. They haven't really had time to sleep, so we see that a lot of them, the first thing they do is head upstairs and go straight to bed, which kind of sucks for Pace as he is obviously trying to party. It seems that the only one that's down to party with him at the moment is Alice, as she is kind of grooving by the pole. But he has sandwiched himself in the group and is trying to talk to as many house guests as he can, but one by one they slowly head upstairs and claim a bed for themselves. So far, Pace seems pretty bored, to be honest. Everyone's kind of just sitting in the living room watching a movie. I think they've all developed such close relationships with a lot of the Sims already that they aren't really in the mood to necessarily get to know Pace exactly. But they're all still kind of making casual conversations with him in between boring scenes of this movie, which they all seem to be enjoying. But I don't know. So far, who do you think Pace could get with? He seems to pull aside Bruno pretty quickly, and they are slowly hitting it off. They're watching the movie together, discussing it, and flirting pretty instantly. I think Pace is definitely ready to put the moves on one of the house guests. He just has to find the lucky one, and I don't know, maybe it's going to be Bruno. Alright, so unfortunately for our house guests, it seems as though the computer is broken, and I think only Benson would be probably the only Sim to fix that, so they might not want to find him a perfect match just yet, because without him, I don't think that's going to get fixed anytime soon. However, it does seem that things between Bruno and Pace are heating up as they have moved on from getting to know each other and straight into flirting. And again, I do know everyone's perfect match. They were selected at the start of the series, and now Pace is the replacement for one of the other ones. But it's interesting, like at first I debated whether I wanted to go ahead and announce their sexual orientation, but since I didn't necessarily set it in the game, it's kind of up in the air who they have relationships with, and it's kind of fun to know the answer, but to see it take place, I don't know. Let me know if it irritates you, if you would want to know their sexual orientation, if you like that they're all bi technically, even though they are in a perfect match with someone. I don't know, I just find that kind of interesting. Let me know down below what your opinions are. If I do a season 2, what do you think I could improve on? All that kind of stuff. I love that kind of criticism, so let me know down below. Again, for the series, it's already kind of set in stone, so whatever. But I don't know, maybe this relationship is now going to be set in stone, as Bruno has shared his first kiss with Pace. Already things are kind of moving pretty quickly with the two of them. And we see that the only two left to witness it at the party now is Latoya, who is dancing, and Liana? I don't know, I get her name confused all the time. I really need to start doing like flashcards before I start these series with the names and stuff, or do some kind of games to actually memorize them. But we see that things have gone from kissing and they have moved on to the massage table. We did pass Felicity in the sauna, relaxing in there on her own. So that's kind of what she's up to. But we see that Pace is now giving Bruno a nice relax, kind of winding him down from the past few days in the house and kind of starting him over for his own. We see that in the sauna, though, Felicity is interrupted, and instead her and Kayla hang out, and things kind of get a little sleepy, as we see Robbie has actually moved out from the bedroom and instead has gone into the ocean to sleep. I don't know if I could do that, honestly. I think my anxiety's a little bit too high to sleep on a float in the ocean. I'd be afraid I would parent trap out to sea or something. I don't know. I don't think I can handle all of that. Seems like a safety hazard. But inside, we see that some of our house guests have woken up. We see Benson has come down to join the party and is now talking to Latoya, while Alice is eating some cereal. And one by one, house guests are slowly waking up in the wee hours of the morning, while a lot of them are fast asleep still. Outside, the massage is still going strong. It seems as though Pace maybe walked in with a few skill points, as this one doesn't seem too painful for Bruno. Or maybe he likes it rough. I don't know. He does glitch out of the massage pretty weirdly. And it seems as though Pace is hungry, but maybe he's just hungry for some. Oh yeah, I went there. This little hot dog is rated M for mature, or it's probably actually T for teen. I don't really know, but we see that Pace ends up finishing up this massage and starts a whole other one in the sauna. They actually go ahead and kick Kayla out of there. They tell her to scram, and they start woohooing in there, and things get a lot steamier, quite literally. I love that Kayla actually just kind of stands there for a little bit and listens to make sure, like, you know, why they kicked her out and what she was going to do before joining everyone else in the living room. It seems as though Felicity has gone in there, hasn't even bothered to put on any clothes, and is just dancing with all the other girls around the stereo. I would be a little bit too nervous if I was her, but you know, all of these Sims have no inhibitions. They don't mind if that towel falls off, and honestly, neither do I. And I know you little beanie weenies don't mind either. We see that some vampires are trying to get in the house. However, we're trying not to accept any more additional house guests. We've already had enough. And we see that, of course, we have a peeping Tom outside trying to get a peek of what's going on in the Are You the One house. And a lot of the house guests actually walk by him and like don't even bother, like it doesn't faze them, except Felicity actually ends up turning around, and I mean, she should be. She's in his house. She's probably the most vulnerable right now, and he absolutely freaks out at being caught and starts to run away, leaves the house, and then just sadly mopes. And Felicity instantly puts on some clothes and covers up, and thankfully that hasn't really affected her mood at all. She actually seems kind of proud of herself, as she should be. She made those little peeping toms scram. And it seems as though Pace and Bruno might have gotten a little glitched or something. I don't know, because we see Benson ends up going into the sauna with them. He strips down and just joins them, and the two of them are kind of frozen. They're kissing. They're kind of woohooing forever with no end in sight. And Benson is just kind of relaxing in the nude in front of him, watching. Again, after the whole peeping Tom fiasco, the girls slowly make their way inside, and almost all of them instantly head up and call it a night finally, as it is about 5-6 in the morning. except for these two. No, Kayla and Felicity are fully relaxed from hanging out in the sauna, and after that relaxing session, what do? Obviously, you play some beer pong. Duh, I think, don't all spas have beer pong tables that you do? Isn't that like a normal spa routine? I think so. I mean, any spa I've been to, that's what's gone down. But pretty much every single house guest except for those four are asleep, and we're gonna call this the end of the day. It's got to be such a weird first day for Pace. I mean, he came into a matching ceremony, got randomly matched, and then ends up flirting and hooking up with a completely different person, and everyone else has just been asleep, basically, except for a few random people dancing here and there. But what do you guys think of everything going down in the house right now? Fill up my comments. I honestly can't stress that enough. I love hearing from you. I love communicating with you. That's why I do this. I mean, this is how I play The Sims naturally, is I just do these kind of reality show things instead of making a family. But the reason why I post it on YouTube is to hear from you. So go ahead and write down below and tell me what you think. As that beer pong challenge is going on in the living room, again, we almost never have a full house totally asleep. There's always house guests waking up as others are going to bed. We see that Robbie has woken up from the ocean, has swam to shore, and Yolanda is down here. And of course, the stereo is always on. Okay, that thing is always on and blasting from, dawn till dusk. And so the party never quits here on Are You the One? After their beer pong session, why is that so hard to say? Beer pong session. It looks as though Felicity has won, and the two of them go to bed. We see that Pace has fallen asleep in the hot tub, as he probably hasn't claimed his own bed. And we're going to go ahead and skip forward to the next day, after everyone has fully rested. Alright everyone, it is the next day, and of course we're going to start things off with a bang, and that is with the weekly Truth Booth ceremony. So all house guests come on down to the living room, gather around, and once you guys are all together, we can look at all the relationships, do some little calculation, data analyzing, use my big brain for something here, and figure out which two Sims are the closest in the house. And those two will be sent to the Truth Booth, and they will find out if they are a perfect match or not. And again, this is the only way to officially know if you are a perfect match or not. And if you are a match, you will leave the house, go to your own honeymoon suite, and hang out with your perfect match for the rest of your time here in Sulani. So now that everyone has gathered, let's go ahead and look at that information, shall we? All right, let's make this dramatic. The next couple to go to the Truth Booth is Benson and Robbie. All right, the two of you go on, head on into the Truth Booth, and let's find out if you're a perfect match or not. All right, congratulations, Robbie and Benson. You guys are our second perfect match. So you actually were that new light last night, and now you're gonna be the light of each other's lives. Isn't that romantic? So the two of you are going to leave the villa and go on your own personal honeymoon in your own personal honeymoon suite. And the two of you are gonna live in bliss until the end of the series. But of course, you are gonna be coming back in every matching ceremony along with Jaeyoung and Ariel, and you will be a permalite constantly lit at the ceremony. But that does also mean, however, that without you, no one knows who their perfect match is in the house. All of you were completely wrong in the last ceremony. So in order to avoid a blackout at the next one, you guys have to really work hard and figure out who some of you belong with. However, now that Benson and Robbie know, the two of them are heading off and finding their own honeymoon suite that's actually just right across the island. What do you guys think of Robbie and Benson being a perfect match? Did you see it earlier? Did you always think it? Are you completely shocked and surprised? Did you think it was with someone else? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm really curious. And again, if you want to download any of these lots or any of these Sims, go over on the Sims gallery, and of course it's just going to be Sims Hot Dogs. Look me up and you'll find me there. However, if you don't find these lots and Sims, I probably use some CC, so go ahead and enable that CC. You should be able to find me there then. And again, if you want to know any of the CC I used, go ahead and hit me up and I'll try to find those links for you. But we see that Robbie and Benson have arrived at their destination, and they instantly go ahead and get some sexy time in their house. So let's go ahead and take a little look. Yep, exactly as expected. What else were they meant to do here, really? So while Benson and Robbie get it on in their own house, we can actually head over a little, 2 houses down and go ahead and find our first perfect match. That's going to be, of course, Jaeyoung and Ariel, and we can catch up on them and see how their relationship is growing. I just love the views here in Sulani. Like, how amazing would it be for your bedroom just to completely open up to the ocean? Also kind of terrifying though at night and when a storm is coming in. That would be kind of spooky. However, in the broad daylight like it is right now under the glorious sun, it would be kind of perfect. And with this happy response, I thought that the two of them were going to get it on just like Robbie and Benson. However, instead they actually just strip down, get completely naked, and sunbathe. So while that was unexpected with that response, it is something I would definitely do if I were here. And again, none of our house guests care about the cameras or anything like that. And it seems as though our honeymooners are living in complete bliss. But right across the island, all of our house guests in the Are You the One house, they're going to be facing some difficult times ahead. We only have a couple matching ceremonies left in order for all of them to find a perfect match, and none of them have been matched correctly so far. And of course, with our new house guest Pace in here to stir everything up, it's going to get a little more complicated. So who knows? Do you think they're going to find any perfect matches in the next episode? You'll have to stay tuned.
Dag, dag. So.
Yes, hooray.
Okay, and I'm gonna say it just one more time to be clear. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel to become an official Beanie Weenie. And who doesn't want to be that? This was another installment of The Sims 4 Are You the One series. And I'll see you guys next week on Monday for another matching ceremony. And with that, bye.
Yeah, sure, step aside, kid. We're in a...